Hi everyone, I'm Chloe Kaminskis, aka Clomonsta, along with your hosts Shaleel White and Joseph Vesey, and this is Everybody Lurks.
I want to keep the white carpet white, so I'm bringing out. I collect hotel slippers. This is from the Grand American Hotel in Utah. Fantastic hotel.
Okay.
I would say my top 5 hotels. And
In America?
In America. I'm a big hotel guy.
How about the world?
I haven't lived enough to say the world.
Okay, all right,
but
still American. That's
I've been to
big.
Mallorca in Italy, but I can't say the world. But I will say in the country, top 5.
Wow, that's big.
Grand Hotel, the way they have art all over. Grand, you can walk around it. It's like a huge hotel. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so unique, but it's like older, but also modern. And the artwork and the stuff they have an amazing cafe. It's just a great vibe.
How about that food, though?
Food is amazing.
Food is done.
Grand Hotel. And
that.
it's in Utah. Beautiful. So that Grand Hotel sponsored me for a couple nights. I'm wearing your hotel slippers, and I like that they still write the name of the hotel on it. Some slippers aren't doing that anymore.
That's old school.
And that's corny. So shout out to the Grand Hotel.
Hotel.
Hold on. Hope it fits me.
Can you even fit them joints?
Hold on. Damn.
They look a little snug.
Size 12. You know what I'm saying?
They look a little snug.
I know. They look a little snug. Hold on.
You do look comfortable, though.
All right. Ooh.
No, that left one ain't fitting
That
right.
left one not fitting right. You know,
That left one ain't fitting right.
I'm packing, so size 12. What, your size what?
I'm a 12 and a half.
12 and a half. Damn. So one day we got to measure. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about shoes. I'll let your boy. All right. Everybody lurks. I'm ready. I also wore a special jacket for today.
You want a special jacket? What's so special about your jacket?
I bought it in New York. It was for my stand-up special.
Okay.
That comes out sometime near Happy Gilmore 2, near July. Please buy it. Please get it. However, it's going to be streamed.
I'm here to endorse this special.
Got this
It's funny.
jacket.
Yes, I talk about my jacket in the special. I wear like 4 different jackets. This is one that I wore for it. How you doing, man?
I'm solid, man. I got no complaints. I'm chill today.
You're in a good energy today. I could feel it.
Is that really?
You got a different energy. Something's glowing. Something happened before you left the house?
No, nothing happened.
This guy's feeling good. A lot of glowing.
The dog didn't poop on the carpet this morning, so that's always a good thing.
How is the dog going?
It's a process.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Almost feels like you need to bring in Lethal Shooter for the dog. Doesn't he seem like a person who would like help you?
You know what? I've been watching though these dog videos like Caesar and stuff like that or whatever. They teach you these little tricks.
Oh, so you took my advice. You watched Caesar.
Sometimes I take some of your advice. You know,
you don't like to admit it. I understand. It's the age gap.
And like dogs will, especially puppies, they like to bite on everything. Furniture, and they'll just start just pick a piece of furniture and just chew on it all day.
Yeah.
And like I actually learned one really cool tip. They hate lemon rind. So if there's any area that that the dog is biting on, you just take some lemon rind and you rub it up against that, and the dog will take one bite of that and be like,
and it doesn't hurt the dog.
It doesn't hurt him
just like
at all.
just a bad taste.
It's just a taste deterrent, and it's very effective. Yeah.
That would work for me if they use licorice.
You
don't like licorice?
You don't like licorice?
Remember we taled about this.
Black
we talked about this
licorice
on a
or
previous
red
episode.
licorice?
Yeah.
Oh, black licorice.
Okay, well nobody
I love
likes black licorice.
No, that's like one of
What?
my
There
favorite
was-
candies.
It was like clash of opinions right there. It was like I can't stand black licorice. My lady loves black licorice.
I love
don't
black
get it.
licorice.
Girls like black licorice.
Girls like black licorice. Pause.
Hot girls like black licorice.
Oh, dude.
Well,
Making a statement.
you have to show this. So this brings up though a video that I saw that it. By the way, disclaimer: everything works out fine. But watch this video. 2 dogs in China, right, rescue this dog that got knocked out unconscious on the highway. And look at the cars, look at the trucks, and look at this guy right here. Sees what's going on and just goes right by it.
Can we talk about how no one helps?
No one helps.
Dogs have to.
No one is helping, just going right past the dog. But here, this dog lived and got adopted. But how amazing it is, because I know you've said you've struggled to sometimes see the connection with dogs. But look at that. They knew what in their, like, how did they know this dog was, one, just unconscious? And to help him and drag him is an unbelievable, shows you the intelligence level and thought process.
Yeah, no, listen, I believe we're all connected. I have this strange idea that that people can be reincarnated even as dogs, because that is a human level of awareness right there.
Right, that's why I called them human that time, and you were thrown by it. But I'm like, you see that, and they rescued the dog. He got adopted, which
You
is
can see
very
the
nice.
one dog too. He's almost trying to stop traffic, but he needs all four paws on the ground, so he can't be like, yo, chill.
But look at, I mean, it's amazing they didn't get hit doing this. Like it seems like almost like out of a movie. But
it was
I just,
destiny that they saved him.
but just it blows my mind. Just the people just going right by, not.
You
giving
are
a
so
shit.
passionate about dogs, though. Like
About all
I
animals,
have
yeah.
I have to say, you are the person that made the switch go on in my head officially once and for all that there are people on this planet that love dogs more than humans.
Well, I'll tell you, and you can tell me if this is weird. Usually you do think I'm weird. So I will say I am. So I have, my dog Dory.
I think you're different. I don't hang out with weird people. I think you're different.
Fine. Okay. Fair. I appreciate
Peculiar.
that. You're in a good mood today, because on any other day,
Yeah,
I
you're
think it
like
would be like,
good
you're
vibes
fucking
all
weird.
around.
Something happened at that house. I don't know what happened, but I'm excited for it. But no, my dog, I have the little Chihuahua, Dory, who we rescued from Mexico, and I'm obsessed with this dog. I'm obsessed with her like nobody's business. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not saying this for a joke, I get more jealous of people sometimes touching her, specifically men, more than if someone was touching my girlfriend.
Whoa.
Hot
take.
Yes, it honestly like
Sarah's up for grabs.
It's-
The dog
if-
is off limits.
If somebody, because if I see like one of Sarah's guy friends like talking too close to her, I'm like, okay, whatever. I kind of move past it. So when I saw the thing with a guy friend at our house touching Dory, I was triggered. I was like, I
Really?
felt like an obsessive like boyfriend, but it was just about my dog.
I will say I have a black female director friend, and she said she does have an issue. She says white women always come up in the streets and they pet my dog and they don't even acknowledge my human existence.
Oh, that is a common thing. Yes, that's
and
true.
I was
Yeah.
like, and she was like, I really feel violated. She's like, I actually don't even mind if you're petting my dog.
Just ask
but
and acknowledge
Just
me.
ask, or actually, she's like, no, they just feel. She's like, they come right up to the dog, pet her, have a whole conversation with her,
And don't
everything,
acknowledge.
and don't even acknowledge that I'm holding this leash. I was like, yo. And when she pointed it out, I was just like, I started paying attention to that a little bit more.
Yeah. No, that's rude. That's just obnoxious. And also, you should always ask permission, because
Right.
sometimes some dog could bite. I notice little kids are actually better with that. A lot of little girls or boys will come and say, "Hey, can I pet your dog?" And then I'll say yes, and they do it. But yeah, a lot of people, especially in New York and even here, people also. Have you seen this when you're on the phone? People won't if they want to talk to you, they will still talk to you whether they see you on the phone or not.
Oh yeah.
What is that about? Is it what, like, I don't understand where
It's
that
just-
comes from.
I think thematically this follows everything we're going to talk about today. Just people, I think if you're not taught about personal space and respecting people's private area, I think there's just like an invisible private area around all of us. If you're not taught that at a young age, it gets way out of control in adulthood.
Yeah, because
Like now it just goes over the cliff, like in adulthood.
Because you would never go up to someone if you saw them on the phone unless it was an emergency, right? Like, you wouldn't just interrupt someone. I've had people ask me for all types of things, even people I just don't know, even though they see me on the phone.
Yeah, the only way I would interrupt a complete stranger on the phone was to inform them of something impending danger or
Yeah.
or a problem with their area. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, hey, your dog is off the leash and is moving around the
Right.
restaurant. You might want to grab her. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what are we getting into today? I feel good.
All right, celebrate those dogs. Too bad cats, they don't save each other like that. Cats just kind of be like, too bad for that guy.
Cats they're much more independent animals. They don't. It takes a lot to earn cats' love. I'm sure you've heard that.
Of course.
It takes a lot.
I respect cat demeanor.
God.
Just do.
Okay, so we're talking about Anthony
But,
Edwards.
by the way, I gotta say, if a girl tells me she doesn't like cats, I find that to be a red flag.
Really?
Yes, because I remember going out with a girl once, and she told me she didn't like cats, which already is probably not going to vibe for us as a couple. But I said, why don't you like cats? And her answer was like, well, my roommate had a cat, and they just kind of walk around like, they don't need you, and they just kind of do their own thing. And I'm like, oh, so because the creature doesn't kiss your ass like a guy or compliment you, or you have to really work hard and earn the cat's love, not just a dog who will kind of just, they're easier to win over. You don't like the cat. I feel like that says a lot about your personality. It really does. Because I always ask why, and it's usually that answer. They're like, well, they just walk around like they're better, and like they act like they don't need you. And I'm like, yeah, because they kind of don't. They could survive in the wilderness.
This happened on a first date, this conversation.
No, it wasn't on a first date, but we had known her and for a while. And once I was realizing it wasn't going the right way, I had just happened to bring up cats because she knew I had a cat that I loved, and she was like, "Oh, I hate cats."
But it was already going south before this discussion.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, all right.
Probably. But I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew. Yeah, it definitely wasn't going good. Wait, you perked up? Are you not a cat person?
No, I'm not.
Uh-oh, she's not a cat person.
Well, that's different. I'm allergic to cats.
Well, that's different.
So I think
Chloe, you don't have to bite your tongue around this guy. You go ahead and let him have it.
Well, okay, so yeah, I am allergic to cats, so I just have grown up just like not like we just don't jive because I'm gonna get hives and they're gonna
that's a medical issue.
It is a medical
That's
issue.
not. I assume
But
if I
think
asked
it's
you why you don't like cats, I'm assuming that wouldn't be your answer.
Yeah, I just also feel like, but if I were to say, Chloe, are you a dog or a cat person? 100% dog person.
Right. No, it's okay to be one more or the other, but I think when someone says they hate cats, that's a very strong
I don't hate
thing
any
to say.
animal.
The whole species.
Yeah, I think saying I hate cats is different. Being more of a dog
hate
person.
Rats, though. Oh my god,
Well,
my friend had rats as pets.
I understand.
Yeah,
And that was really.
I mean, I would never go intentionally
That's
hurt a
completely
rat.
non sequitur.
You
We're not
like
even
him
gonna.
if
We're not
you're
even
in
gonna
New
go from
York.
dogs to cats to rats.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
gonna
that is-
change the
that is an
subject
extreme
and get
jump.
back to our topic.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Anyway,
We
okay.
got
So
rats.
we have as our topic today, Anthony Edwards, NBA star, makes wild sexual claims and furious spat with Lakers fans during playoff games.
Well, this happened a while back, but I hadn't seen this, and I just came across this. You probably had seen it more than I
Yeah,
have.
no, but I just love the headline: wild sexual claims.
This
Sexual claims.
I couldn't believe I missed this. Now we both are familiar with
Yeah,
Anthony.
we work with Ant. Oh. Okay, all right.
Wait, but no, there was actually a different video where he's saying that, I don't think that was the one where he's saying like his teammates got 200 million.
And
That was the one.
That was the one.
What were you watching?
He said that in the beginning?
Yeah, there's also subtitles. I know you can't read that.
Oh, I can't.
You suck.
Oh, that's the same video. Oh, wow. I couldn't hear any of that. I guess because it's so bleeped. I guess the video I saw wasn't bleeped. Okay.
Yeah, you just saw the
Yeah.
non-bleep version.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
watched
so
the
I couldn't
bleep
understand a
version because
word.
We want to
Okay.
keep our viewers.
Sure. I mean, let me ask you this. You talked about not long ago how if a negative thing bothers you or you see the one negative comment in 100, I will say I can't relate to this at all. And I understand I'm not in his position, but if you're an NBA player, someone says you suck, to respond and really take the time, you're letting everybody know that this bothers you.
So, what's interesting about this clip, though, is this is average NBA fan interaction and has always been this way. But now we have the camera phone. And the camera phone creates action. We're making a movie at any moment in time, anywhere. And it's weird because it's kind of unfortunate because the camera phone POV cuts off context. I don't know how long these fools have been heckling him.
Sure.
So based on the clip that we just watched, all I hear is "you suck," and "you suck" doesn't rise to the level of
My dick
is bigger than yours, and I got 200 million, and you don't have 200. But you see what I'm saying?
Now,
but I don't know what this clown said to Ant before then. I don't know what clown. He might have been egging him on for 3 quarters. Talking about his mama, his baby mamas, or any of that kind of stuff. And finally, Ant just goes ahead and lets him have it, which I've seen Charles Barkley in the past do 1,000,000 times. I've seen Gary Payton do 1,000,000 times, but we didn't have camera phones back then. So I don't know. I would like to think that, Ant gonna be Ant. So you got to know who you messing with anyway.
Yeah.
Ant he might be the Michael
Do you
Jordan.
remember I challenged Ant to one-on-one?
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you the story.
He looked at you with such
Yeah.
unworthiness.
Here's the thing. I'm not sure Ant totally got my vibe. Very, very nice dude, actually. Very nice guy. We had good conversations.
I don't think you got Ant.
Well, here's the thing: is I was being slightly facetious, but of course I would have done it. But I was basically saying to him, like, "Hey, let's play one-on-one. Like I think I can get out there with you." Now, clearly, I guess he doesn't know me, but clearly I don't really think that's the case. Now, I do think maybe I could have got a bucket in. That's just my own confidence, maybe delusion, but I think I could have got a bucket.
Unless
on
he
him.
played Clam Down D, you were gonna get a bucket.
Yeah, I think I was gonna get a bucket. And then he said to me, I remember his comment to me was like, he took it very serious. He was like, "Why would I play you?" He's like, "Why would I?" Now, and to me, when he said, "Why would I play you?"
I can vouch. I was standing right there.
But see, this is where I think he's not understanding. Now, the more someone does that to me, my personality.
Yes,
I'm just gonna go further. And now I'm gonna. And he said to me, like, "It's not like I get out of anything playing you. Like, why would I play you?" He's like, "You're not LeBron." Now, in my head, I was also thinking, either are you. So I'm not really getting so much out of it. But so maybe it's not a benefit for either of us. But his dick probably is bigger. And I will say that without seeing it,
Chloe, what do you think?
say. Yeah, Chloe.
Do you want me to investigate further?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no, like,
How,
the podcast.
yeah, what do you think just off of look and height of Anthony? He probably...
He's mini Jordan. He's for sure packing.
Yeah. But,
yeah, I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. He grabbed it, too. He grabbed it.
Yeah,
my dick's bigger than
He
yours.
grabbed it.
yeah.
And you're always saying I'm saying wild shit. This man just grabbed his crotch in an arena.
But he can jump over buildings in a single bound.
So you're saying talent allows you to grab your dick?
I think talent allows you a lot of free reign. I mean, the way he even spoke to former President Obama.
Dude, that video was crazy. He was talking to him like he was a dude on the street.
Yeah, he was talking to President Obama like, what was wild is we work with Ant on Hustle. So
we know.
So since we work with Ant, I didn't expect anything different, but when it's captured in that context, even Obama was like, "LeBron, come over here and get your mans."
Yo, that was, even Obama didn't even know exactly how to say it. Yeah, pull up this video. This is crazy. Because I watched this, and he was talking to Obama like he was a kid at 5-star camp. It was fucking wild.
He damn near said, "Nigga, I'm the truth."
What's wrong with you? Thank you for saying it, because I really couldn't. Thank you for doing that. Oh, play this?
LeBron, get your man.
LeBron.
Y'all better
Can you tell this
stand
dude
down.
that I used to be president of the United States?
Yo, dude. Not just like a president, the first black president.
I like the way LeBron looks at that too, because he just stared at him and just blinking. Because it's like LeBron knows he's the truth. But LeBron's also like, he's president, man. Why you gotta tell him you're the truth?
That is so wild. I mean, look, shout out to Anthony Edwards. Great dude. We enjoyed working with him. I think, it was cool when he came to the premiere, and then once he saw the movie, I think then it really clicked for him that he was like, wow, all this stuff we did that I might not have fully even understood. We're doing all these takes and doing this and that, and then seeing it put together. I think he was like, this is magic.
I remember Jeremiah had a tough time getting him to do multiple dunks in a row. And it was like, I remember being on the sidelines watching their interaction, and it was all very professional, but sometimes, a star can just not want to do something that a director sees in editing that he's going to need.
Did you see that he wouldn't get blocked by the stand-in?
Oh, yeah, no, I saw
Dude,
that.
That is, for basketball people out there, so here on a movie set, they sometimes have a stand-in for the other stars that does some of the work. So Wancho had a stand-in that would sometimes do some of the work from behind or whatever, or maybe Wancho's busy doing another shot, and in the scene, Wancho's supposed to block Anthony Edwards' shot, and Anthony, I thought he was joking at first. He was like, "He not blocking me," and I'm like, and I'm thinking like, what does he mean? He's like, "I'm not letting that dude block me," and I'm like, okay, but it's not real. It's set up. It's a fake thing. This didn't really happen. He goes, "Nah." He goes, "Wancho could block me. I'm not letting that dude block me." And I was like, that is so hilariously competitive that in a fake scenario, which by the way, though, is very actory of him, because I would think it's a basketball thing, but no, I've listened to I was listening to the Entourage podcast where they go through all the episodes.
Yeah.
There's an episode where Seth Green fights Kevin Connolly in the scene, in the show, and they both, self-admitted, were saying, "Oh, he's not winning the fight," and the other guy was like, "Oh, he's not punching me here." And it was like this weird thing where they had to do a draw, And I'm like, and can you please speak to this, because this is baffling to me that people are worried about a fake scenario on screen.
It's not baffling at all.
But can you? I don't understand it. It's not real.
It depends on how you approach acting. And I mean, for Ant-Man and Hustle especially, we were fortunate as a production to get the amazing performance that we even got out of him. Because for him, this is all real life. Like, there's nobody in here that can actually guard me. There's nobody in here that's actually going to block my shot.
Yeah.
So within our moments of playing pretend, he's just living his life. Like, he doesn't adjust himself for any room. Like, that's what made the Obama thing real. Like, they were just dudes in a barbershop at that moment. And he was like, somebody let this dude know. He don't know.
Let this dude
know.
know.
Like, this dude crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so it's I always like to see, it's a very interesting dynamic to me when power meets power. But they're coming from different places. Like, Obama's obviously, he's freaking President Obama.
Power meets power.
But Ant-Man for real is like the most outspoken, recognized, best athlete from every community he's ever been in. And so he carries that with him everywhere he goes.
That's understood. Can you explain to me, though, the Entourage thing?
Oh, well, the Entourage thing is simple.
I don't understand that.
It's petty, but it's simple, too. I'm sure Stallone and Arnold had many moments like that. I wish I could think of offhand. There were so many action stars, too, who refused to get hit in a certain way, refused to get hit in the face. There are people out there that are just extremely image conscious by nature. For me, I think I can speak on this because as an actor, I always saw acting as total immersion into somebody who I'm not.
Right.
So I could be picked on in a scene or, by some bullies in a high school scene or something like that. I'm never in my mind am I going, I'm the one that's getting picked on here. Now, I've been picked on before, so I could relate to it, and I'm like, okay, this is how this character would react versus how I would react. But the reality of it is that not everybody chooses to suspend belief. For some actors, it's an exercise of total immersion into somebody they're not. For other performers, it can be a slippery slope. It becomes an exercise of projecting the image they want to feel and see of themselves.
So you think like, so either Seth Green or Kevin Connolly, they're like, well, if I get knocked out, they feel like, well, somehow people are going to see me that way in real life?
Absolutely. And they should think that way.
But why would I think? If I would see Seth Green,
it's no different than somebody
think...
looking at me and going and thinking that I'm a nerd. Do you know how many actual nerds come up to me and it's like, oh, that's the guy, he's a nerd. And I'm like, this dude is the physical embodiment of a nerd who is saying this to me. And I got to just be chill. He might have glasses on, be chubby and short, and be actually wearing suspenders. And he's pointing at me going, this guy's a nerd. He feels because of the image that I allowed to be portrayed.
But he doesn't think you're an actual, but I don't think he believes you're that person.
Dude, you are dead wrong. Are you kidding me?
They believe that you...
Every game of basketball I've ever even played, especially in New York, I always raised the bar for another level. If Kobe got out there, it's because, it's Kobe. Oh, shoot, I got to bring my A game. If I got out there, I raised the game the same way for a different reason.
But that's not your career, though.
He's not frying me because that's the guy, the nerd from the TV show.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also think if you were an actor and you weren't even playing a nerd, they would still think you can't play because you're an actor. So they automatically assume in a different career.
Chloe, jump in here. I can't make myself any more clear.
No, but here's the thing. First of all, I'm not even... People see me off of the way I look.
Exactly.
They don't think I play.
That's what
so I'm saying. But if I was, let's say, I think they think you more can't play when you're in a whole different field. No one thinks like, I don't know, name a person who maybe is like good at basketball, but they don't think like, they don't know, people are shocked that Sandler can
Brian
play.
McKnight.
Yeah, no one thinks he
Brian
can play.
McKnight is one of the best all-time celebrity basketball players.
But no one thinks he's a hooper.
And nobody would think that because of his image. So that's what I'm saying. It was like, there are certain performers who are wise enough, quite frankly, to know that my image supersedes my performance. And then there's other performers that are so immersed in their performance, Christian Bale, whatever, it may not cross their minds I think I'm not admitting you have other performers like a Christian Bale or somebody like that it's like if they choose to take a role, they are practicing total immersion, knowing the image that it's going to come out, and they're cool with it. But they're still practicing total immersion.
Is there any performer you think that anyone thinks is good at any sport though?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like Ice Cube paid me a compliment one time during an interview. And somebody asked him like, who did you think were some of the better celebrity basketball players? And he was like, Jaleel White. Mm-hmm. And of course, I think it was like Desus and Mero, if I recall. It might have been one of those guys. And those guys were like, again, it was like, Urkel? Right? And it was like, I'm so used to that my whole life. And Cube was cool. Cube held it down. He was like, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And they're just stunned for like the next 10 minutes. Now, what's funny to me is, man to man, I look at the Desus and Mero guys and go, I'm about to fry y'all.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that image, it's so powerful that it makes people believe book covers when they're not.
But I just can't. Here's my thing. I can't think of any.
And I don't allow myself to get offended by it anymore. At this point, it's just predictable.
But I can't think of any actor, rapper who I look at and go, I wouldn't be surprised that they're good at if their image was something totally different. I don't look at Quavo. Quavo's not dressed up as a nerd. I would never think in a million years Quavo is as good as basketball as he is.
But again, I'm
bravado.
a deep diver and I'm a thinker. So Quavo also played sports in high school before he was ever Quavo.
But
I happen to know that about him.
Yeah, but you know it.
And I also see his physical build, and I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at the physical build. I'm seeing the coordination, and I know from the internet his high school background in sports. So I think with that,
but I don't think anyone would think that.
I'm telling you, dog, like
that. You know that. You just said you knew it.
But I'm saying, I'm compiling about 3 or 4 different things to make the judgment. I think you're a pretty good athlete. The average person is making that judgment on 1 or 2 simple things. Oh, Ice Cube, he wears Raider outfits. He's really tough. He's gangster. He's got to be able to block somebody's shot or be an amazing athlete.
See, I would never think that. But yeah, I hear you. Maybe some people do. But I would never think Ice Cube could play a liquor ball. But maybe he's good.
I appreciated the I appreciated the compliment from Cube. Cube plays hard. I don't think he would proclaim himself to be like some big athlete. So that's why I don't want to make it seem like I'm reverse crapping on Cube. I appreciated the fact that in the moments that we played ball.
That's dope.
In the moments that we played ball, he just saw me man to man.
No, that's cool.
And was like, yo, this dude is bringing a level of play out
saw
here.
You hoop.
Yeah, that just people wouldn't expect. And there's other people that just won't move past that.
Yeah. No, and I'm not saying Ice Cube, I've never seen him play ball. I was just saying based off his tough image, my brain wouldn't automatically
Ant did it
assume.
To you. Even that though, Ant looked at you, he sized you up, and he was like, "What do I get out of this?"
Yeah, and that's fair. And I understand that. I mean, I get it.
I'm laughing again because
body.
I'm like, I know you can get a bucket. I know you need to chill, but I know you can get a bucket.
By the way, some celebrities that are pretty good at basketball that are shocking. Jadakiss is a pretty good hooper.
He can play.
Jadakiss is a pretty good hooper.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown can play.
Chris Brown. Yeah, I mean, he thinks he's better than he is by far. So here's my thing. If you think you're better than you are and you play like you are, it brings you down a rung. So whereas like Jadakiss is just a solid ball player, comes out there, shoots, passes, knows his game. I seen Chris Brown on the court. I'm like, relax, calm down, just go do a dance move.
He wants to smoke.
You know, so like there's some people. Well, I don't know if I really want Chris Brown smoke. I mean, that might lead to other things. But Jesus, we all gotta be careful. You in particular, Chloe. But what is that news? Is that news?
We're off the cliff. We're off the cliff.
Oh, is that? Point. Oh, am I making groundbreaking news?
We moved on past certain things. We're off the cliff.
But
I thought we were talking about basketball.
Yeah, celebrities basketball.
Now Chloe is threatened.
The game is pretty.
You said it, not me.
Is pretty good. Is there any Quavo? Obviously, I've never played with him, but I've seen him. You know
what? The game is physical. I'm gonna tell you, but I go by skill. Like just straight up, like you have skill. Steve Howie from Shameless, very skillful ball player.
Oh, there you go.
Very skillful ball player. Josh Duhamel, good ball player. Who else? I can't talk about Brian McKnight enough. He just upset an entire generation of black men in this city.
Drake wants his league.
You know who's not good? Drake.
Wait, Drake wants a league? You
You know
said
Drake has his own league.
he does.
Well, Drake has his own league.
Yeah.
He is this new? I didn't never knew. You
Well,
mean,
yeah,
I
so
know he
he-
has his own gym.
Yeah, but he runs a league apparently
Really?
out of his gym. And
Dude, man, when we were in Toronto filming Bar Mitzvah movie, we didn't end up making it up there, but he invited Adam
Oh, that was a
and I
mistake.
to
That was a
play
mistake.
hoop. No, it was a scheduling thing because of we were shooting the movie.
excuses. Adam can stop filming at any
No,
moment
well,
to
we
go
were
play ball.
we were working, so we literally couldn't do it, and he was going out of town. Something was happening. I don't know, but I've actually seen clips of him playing ball. He's not bad. Like he can actually he can hoop better than I thought.
I'm more interested in his table tennis skills personally.
Drake's
Yeah.
table tennis.
Apparently, he's just like
He's amazing.
He's Asian with it.
And
That's a way to describe it.
then of course, I mean,
You got the point though, right?
Yeah.
You got the point though, right? Apparently, he's nice, and I play a little table tennis too. So
there's some.
I'm personally more interested in that.
Have you seen the guy? By the way, this
So-
is stupid, but have you seen the guy who looks like Drake play ball online?
No,
And he's
Oh my
dude,
gosh.
and he's
That's a whole nother,
nice.
that's a whole nother level of fame when you have other
Bro,
human beings
you-
that
yo.
decide to live as you.
Yo, I don't know if this dude is living as him, but Chloe, if you could look up Drake lookalike basketball player, I think he's from
That's
Paris.
wild.
Dude, I don't think he's trying to be Drake. He just looks like him. And his game, I thought it was Drake for like 20 seconds. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This guy is dumb nice. I don't know if you could find it. I don't know if you look up on YouTube, oh yeah, look,
Oh snap!
Bro,
oh, yeah,
yo!
he got the trick shot though. He got the trick joint.
Yo.
He can shoot.
But look at his game, and look at his body language. He moved
he can
like
shoot
Drake.
the jump shot without even raising his hands above his
Yo,
shoulders.
but you see, he's nice though, right?
Yeah, nah, he's silly nice.
Yo, he's really nice. I think this is in Paris. This is a gym I played in. It looks like it. This Jordan gym. But yo, he's got the body language is uncanny.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yo, even the way he looks down at the floor.
If I was Drake, I would actually hire this guy to play for me.
Yo, Drake could do a basketball movie tomorrow, and it would be amazing with
be
this
amazing.
guy. And I'd buy it all. They would do we have to shoot him from behind? No, not really. We can get him right here. Yo, that is crazy.
Drake, you got a basketball movie in your future, man. You just got to hire this guy to be your double, and you are Gucci.
Is there any other? I mean, obviously we'll save the best for last. But who's another celebrity that I'm not thinking of that's pretty good at basketball? Snoop can play a little bit, I think.
Still could hustle in his day. He was scrappy.
Who's another? Is there any other guys?
Antoine Tanner from Sunset Park. Oh my gosh, Corey Hardrick. These guys both will give you 40 big ones.
Were they
quick.
in? What about the guy of
Antoine
Finding?
Tanner was the bald guy, bald kid from Sunset Park.
Oh shit! Okay, I don't know that.
Justin Bieber.
This guy? Bieber surprises me with his clips. Like he's like a rec player, but like I'm actually surprised. He's a lefty too.
So here's the thing that started happening over time when it comes to celebrity b-ball. Over time, I started noticing once the camera phones started coming out and all of this filming the rec league game started coming out, I noticed the defense turned way lax. We used to play turn-up defense. If somebody like Justin Bieber was getting off in a celebrity game, we were all itching on the bench to get in the game and somebody guard him.
Yeah.
So if you did it, you did the damn thing. I just always felt like with the latter year celebrity games with Justin and some of those, the defense was kind of turnstile. It was kind of like,
They
oh,
were
he got
letting him
by
go?
me.
Yeah.
And it was like I could see that. We were so much more petty and
Oh
competitive.
yeah. No, if I was in my early 20s, I would be exactly what you're describing. But I'm also a little bit more. Tell me if maybe it is not this way for you. But like, if the guy was just playing regular and just being a celebrity, but if he was playing in a way that implied he thinks he's nice, then that would take a whole on. Then I would go at him. Then I'd be salivating.
Oh yeah. No.
Cool. When I would watch that E-League when I was a kid, I was too young for it. You know, the entertainment league used to play
played
it.
it,
Yeah, when I would see some of those kids play, and I was like, oh, wait you don't actually think.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be like, oh, I'd be dying to get
That's
out
just
there.
a funny celebrity phenomenon. There's just a lot of people that are celebrities that if you put them all in a gym to play ball at the same time,
Yeah.
they all think they're nice.
It's funny.
And so it's like you get an interesting game when everybody thinks they're nice and probably 8 out of 10 are horrible.
Yeah.
So that's
But when I've seen clips of Bieber, he seems like he plays kind of in a humble way. So in that way, like
was
it would
fun to
make
watch,
me
though.
like it would make me go, oh, okay, he's just out here for fun. He's having a good time.
No, but he thought he was nice.
Did I mean, okay.
no,
maybe
no,
he did.
you-
Oh, did you play with him, or are you talking
No,
about clips or
I'm
something?
just picking up the body language. Like,
So it would get you going a little bit.
Oh, he would have got me going. He would have got me
Even
going.
right now, like 2025.
No, not at all. I'm done. The young
No,
fella
but what
can
if you
have
were
it.
out here I'm saying, but if you were in a game with him right now, let's just say you were.
At my current age?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't let him cook me, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm at an age now where I'm like, I would be more concerned about playing team ball and just
Okay.
getting the win. Age for age, I would have taken it personally. I would have made it my personal assignment to shut him down.
Okay, so let me do this. Let me do this scenario. It's 2025. You're okay. You're your age now. You're playing. He scores a bucket on you, right? He scores a bucket.
That's no big deal.
And then he sings a little bit in your face
Well,
then he goes back down.
What song?
One of his songs. He goes,
Is
baby,
it too late now
baby.
to say sorry?
Oh yeah! Oh, what if he? What if he did that right in your face
Wait, can you
and
do
he
that
goes
again?
back up
Can you
court?
do that again? What?
Is it too late now to say sorry? Cause
Okay.
I'm dunking on you and this ain't a hobby.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Yo,
snap.
Angie dropped
What-
the bar.
what just
Did that
happened?
just come off the top of your head?
What just happened?
I'm dunking on you, and it's not just a hobby.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Tell
my!
him if you'll stop talking for a second, you'll realize what we're sitting next to over here. There's something happening over here with Clo
Oh.
Monster.
My God!
There is. Wow. If Justin Bieber scored on me and then sang to me in my ear like that running
bar.
back up the court,
Right now,
absolutely we are going to tighten the shoelaces and we are going in lockdown mode.
it's gonna be a tough day for the Biebs.
He's only dribbling with his right. See, I already know he's left-handed.
Yeah, yeah.
He's only dribbling with his right.
Oh man!
I'm sitting on that left hand.
I heard from a very reputable source that Biebs is like fire at Pilates. Like he's like really
Pilates?
good. He goes to the Aloe gym.
You could be fire at Pilates.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is so funny. Okay. The quote is wild. Fire at Pilates. The quote is wild.
Fire
Like,
at
I can't
Pilates.
sanction the quote. However,
How are you good
because
at
I have done Pilates though, I know what she's talking about. Pilates requires such incredible core strength. It will expose you terribly as a dude.
Yes.
Have
So
you
he
ever
has
done
good-
Pilates?
No.
So
Oh.
wow. Oh wow. You gotta do it.
So
You gotta do
so you're
Pilates.
saying he has good core strength.
Yeah, he's got really good core
But
strength,
saying
she
he's
said.
fire at Pilates is almost just correct. But
coordinated.
correct me if I'm. Oh, he's coordinated,
Yeah, very coordinated dude. I
Well-
mean, it's not even a question. Justin Bieber's extremely coordinated dude.
and that's what you need to do Pilates.
Yeah, well, he's got great core strength. He's probably got amazing balance. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that you would need.
So it's not as crazy as someone saying like, "Oh, he's fire at weightlifting," because no one says that.
The quote is wild. I've just
Who-
never heard
who's the
anybody
source?
apply. I've never heard anybody apply athletic ability to Pilates. I had to pause for a second because I realized she's right. But the quote, I just still won't accept.
I've heard that Justin Bieber is quite impeccable at the Pilates practice.
Who?
So the way I know this is
You don't have to name the person.
I'm not going to. I'm going to. So, I am. So I was at Skylar's house with my entire family this past Friday, and I am friends with a certain influencer who has a lot of influence. And she's telling me, she's like, she's sponsored by Aloe. She's telling me, oh, you have to come to the Aloe gym, blah, blah, blah.
Aloe gym is dope.
Because the Aloe gym is apparently dope. And I've never been, but I've seen a lot of different social media people go, like Olivia Jade always goes, David Dobrik goes, all those guys. So I've seen it on people's vlogs and stuff like that. As we know, I'm a big vlog watcher here. But they all go there, and that's like the it place to go to Pilates.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, and Hailey Bieber comes all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, as a joke, I'm like, oh, does the Biebs go? And she's like, yeah, he's there every time I go. Like, he is fire at Pilates.
Yeah,
He's really good.
Yeah. That's
He
funny.
apparently kills it.
And
Because it works
in
all
these
the
kind
mini
of, all I'm gonna
muscles.
say is, look, in these kind of group classes, because
Yeah.
like I've done hot yoga a few times with my lady, and it's like you get exposed, bro. Like I had to leave the room multiple times. Like
Oh, you mean because you felt like embarrassed, or?
Well, you don't. If you go in a lot of hot yoga or you go in a Pilates class, if you don't have the core strength, you know,
It will kick your ass.
it will kick your ass, and you don't want to be in the front of the class.
Yeah.
You want to be the guy in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
It will
I'll have to
expose
check it.
you.
I'm gonna go. My girl goes to the Aloe gym. I'm gonna go with her one day and try this Pilates.
Oh, you have
And you're
to.
gonna see the
I don't-
Biebs.
I don't even know. We're
We're
talking
all
about
over the
Bieber
place.
playing basketball. We didn't. We got to talk about though one thing we have to acknowledge. We've acknowledged it, I think, on the other episode. But how shocked they are how good Sandler is at basketball.
Yeah.
And people are also surprised. I think mostly not only from his like amazing passing. He loves passing more than anything. Like just looks to pass first, but also just how like his endurance and competitiveness of how many games we play.
Now
We
that-
almost outplay everybody, including, well, I mean, maybe when we visit colleges, D1 colleges, no one's getting tired necessarily, but most of the time in the parks or everywhere we play, we'll play like 6 to 8 games up to 24, and people are not prepared for that.
The thing that's probably most shocking about Adam Sandler on a basketball court is his endurance. He will play all day. He will play 15 games in a row. It's ridiculous what his endurance is. But also his willingness to just play ball with any group of strangers anywhere in the world, any hood, any community. His dedication to pick up ball and park ball is legendary.
We were in Connecticut on tour, and we go find this court, and we get there. It's outdoors. We did see people, I think, playing on the court, but it's all locked. So clearly, like, there's big gates, and clearly it was, people must have jumped over it. Now, these gates were quite high, so we were like, okay, we're not getting in. I'm down on the other end looking for other ways to get in. I look over to my left, and I guess the gate, goes up a little bit like this, and I see Adam on the ground rolling underneath the gate.
Oh yeah, that's old school.
And which is, by the way, and then was like, so we're all gonna be rolling underneath the gate.
If he can get under there,
the
whole squad is coming behind him.
So I'm like, damn, we're really
Even if
rolling
they don't
underneath
fit,
this.
they're coming behind him.
and we had maybe a couple people that might not fit.
I already knew that.
But it was just an amazing testament. Like, oh, he still got like the kid in him that would just like go on underneath. Like, how are we gonna get in? Well, this is a way. We're going in, and it's just amazing. But his passing skills are on another level, and just his overall knowledge of knowing the game, being able to shoot, dribble, pass. It's amazing. Like how well he plays and still continues to. I mean, most people like with age, they have a tougher time playing. I know people my age who are like, I'm done, I'm retired.
Well,
he's still playing.
That was the thing that I always appreciated that he saw in me. Like, we played the game. Any basketball moment can become egotistical, but
Yeah.
there are certain people that play the game the way it's supposed to be played. They pass, pick away. They understand off-ball movement. They're unselfish, but they still have the ability to get theirs. And then there's a gunner. There's somebody that's out there that's just, I talk about it in my book, having played basketball with R. Kelly. And it was just like,
He was wild.
It's one of the wildest pickup games I've ever played in my life. It was just.
What did they do again? They as his teammates, they just like pass him the ball.
He
every
brought
time.
4 guys to rebound for him.
And he
They would get the rebound right underneath the basket and be turning around looking to kick it out to him way out at the 3. I'm like, he's right under the basket. But it was like this was a contractual agreement, verbal or written. I don't know. But
bringing dudes to do that for you is hilarious.
No, I brought 4 dudes to rebound for him, and brought a cheering section of women. It was wild.
Because me, as you, like, who are real basketball players, you can't even imagine a scenario where you would do such a thing because you'd feel foolish. You'd feel like people are laughing at me behind my back.
Oh yeah, I played one time in a private gym in Bel Air, and these clowns that showed up, they showed up with their own ref.
Their own ref.
They showed up with their own ref, dude, with black and white stripes.
With the black and white stripes.
I hate to admit it, but I've never mentioned before, but it was like, and one of the 3 guys was Pete Sampras.
Should I know who that is?
Former tennis star Pete Sampras.
Oh, tennis star.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was very quiet, so I lay off of him. But his two buddies who brought this freaking this ref, I'm like, you brought your own ref to a pickup game? Like, some of the stuff that I've lived only happens in Beverly Hills zip codes. Like, it just like let's just suspend reality People are wilding because they can.
Wait, Chloe has, I think, a topic that don't say who though the person is, but I think this spawned a topic for you, right?
This is a little lurk topic.
People who are basketball players and use that as a disguise, kind of to get through things. You set it up. I think this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's like we were discussing this as a lurk topic, but like there's kind of like a genre of girls that are like acceptable to follow on Instagram because they're like golf girls. Or they're like basketball girls.
Say it again. What are they?
Golf girls.
Golf girls.
Golf girls.
And how would you say the basketball girls?
Basketball girls.
Okay. So you're saying you're saying you could
in her best Paige Becker's voice.
So basically you're saying those guys that maybe have a girlfriend could follow a girl under the tent.
No, babe. She's just like she balls. Like don't worry about it. Like she may be like
I think
a 10.
I feel like there are these girls that are they're using basketball as their claim to doing something good, but really they're models.
Yeah.
Well, now, I mean...
They model with basketball.
There's a girl
These girls model with basketballs. They don't play basketball, but they'll take a great shot with the basketball.
There's a girl that I went to college with.
With the basketball.
I know this girl.
There's a girl that I went to college with. I went to Cal. And she is a really good basketball player, but she's like...
She's very good.
She's actually really good.
Yeah, she's really good.
But like the people that I see liking her photos, I'm like, okay, you're not here for the basketball. Like you're here for other...
All right,
other ball incentives.
I'll tell you,
anyway.
who is your favorite female basketball player to follow in social media?
Well,
you're saying just because of basketball?
No,
or some reason?
For the curation of them being a basketball player, but you also enjoy what they give you content-wise.
The 2K girl.
Which who?
The 2K girl?
Who is the 2K girl?
Rachel something. Wait.
Skylar has
Cheryl Miller from me.
Cheryl Miller doesn't even have an Instagram account.
She plays football or she's...
Shout out Cheryl Miller, one of the greatest of all time. I know you ain't on IG.
Rachel Demita.
Rachel Demita?
Yeah.
Duke football?
Back in the day.
Oh, so this is one of them. There it is, right there. I don't hoop, but I take a great picture with a basketball.
So she doesn't hoop?
She does hoop, though.
Yeah, she don't want none of the girl I follow.
Do you play basketball, Chloe?
No, I'm so bad. I'm actually just terrible at sports in general, but...
My favorite to me, authentic,
I'm
she is a genuine... I think this girl would have been a social media content creator, and she's a rapper. I think she would have been all of that without basketball, but she happens to be an amazing basketball player, and that's Flauche.
How do you spell that?
Flauja. There you go.
See, like if I posted a photo of the basketball...
Flauja to me is as authentic as it gets with basketball. Like, she is loving basketball. She's a rapper. Like, and she flows. Like, and her content is crazy. Like, she's a cross-up between Doechii, Caitlin Clark, and she's authentically all of those things.
Yeah, she's a real basketball
Like, she is
girl.
a real hooper, but then she's like 3 or 4 other things authentically too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look at that
cool.
shot.
Yeah.
March Madness into a marketing masterclass. She just seems like...
Yeah, she seems dope.
Flauja
She's a baller.
is the shit, dog. Like, Flauja is... I love... Like, she's Anthony Edwards. Like, her takes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, talking about somebody the day before a game. I mean... She's the shit.
I mean, if you're...
That I like to see. I'm such a fan of authenticity that, that doesn't feel like,
She's hot. She's got bars.
Yeah.
She can ball.
Yeah.
Skylar, this is your girl.
Yeah, that's amazing having that many, like that much personality. Like being able to play a sport on top of it is definitely very beneficial, and it's more in now.
She authentic as hell. She really is.
Like I remember back in the day, we used to play at Chelsea Piers. There was this girl that would come through. She was a model, and she could hoop though, and really play. And it would add such. I mean, I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I would be like
that adds spice to the floor when a girl steps out and she really could go.
I'd be in shock every day because I'd be staring at her, and then I'd be like, and she's good at basketball. And any celebrity that would come into the gym would always ask her to play one-on-one. Of course, under the guys. And when I was 16, 17 at the time, anytime she was shooting by herself, I'd be like, hey, do you want to play one-on-one? And I was just like this young little kid, just like excited that this girl was playing basketball. But she was good. and that made her so much more attractive because she was actually good at the sport. It wasn't like she was just there playing around.
When it comes to women like this, though, the frustrating thing playing any type of pickup with guys who are involved is they never take the outside shot seriously.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm gonna think the game, and I'm assessing somebody else's skill set so quickly
Right.
that I'm like, all I need to see is one shot, and I'm like, yo, either switch or guard her. Like, otherwise the game is over.
How do you feel about girls though if they're hot boxing you out, and then like how do you manage that issue? Because that could be an issue.
I had to stop actually, but female basketball has evolved so much. It's so much something. It's so different from what it was when I was in college. But
They box out.
I don't like it when a physical female ball player wants to talk shit to a dude. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I respect you playing hard,
Yeah.
but if don't turn into Draymond on me,
Right.
and you're a woman. Like now I'm not saying that there's certain women that look just size wise they can do that, but at the park level, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you're talking about Breonna Stewart or something like that, okay, that's different. But I'm talking about at the park level, some woman that's 6 feet tall, and that's really tall at the park. And, she starts throwing elbows and, saying mouse in the house and short king and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, look. Because I don't care what anybody says. When you're playing against a woman as a guy,
Yeah.
you could get cooked on skills. But when it comes to the scrappiness and physicality of going for rebounds and stuff like that, most guys are going to hold back. I remember Brittany Griner had a little back and forth with Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
And it was almost starting in the background of like, oh, okay, are they ever going to play one-on-one? And I remember I could see it in Boogie Cousins' face. Like,
Yeah.
okay, all this comparing Brittany Griner to me on any level, this is getting really disrespectful. Like,
Yeah.
that is Boogie Cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he ever would have played serious, even though they're both, power forwards,
Right.
if he would have ever played serious against a Brittany Griner,
Do you think there's a
the level of expose, the level of expose.
Do you think there was a WNBA player that could have beat you in your prime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just skill wise?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Candace would have used me.
Right.
Candace would have, because there does reach a point where they're longer than you, they're taller than you, and they have more skill. Now I will say this one in her prime, this Flaugier gal, when I watch her, I'm like, oh man, I should have never played you in college. Because we'd have gone at it. And she'd have got me, and I'd have got her back, and we'd have gone at it ferociously.
Yeah.
She has a game legitimately like a dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, some of them do. I don't know if I would have.
But somehow she keeps her femininity off the court in a beautiful way.
I don't know how I would have handled losing to a girl.
Oh, no, I mean, don't get it twisted. You can lose to a girl.
I'm not saying you can't. I just don't know how I would have handled it in my 20s.
I just don't like it when a girl, like I said, I don't like it when a Brittany Griner for 5 seconds thinks that she can trash talk a Boogie Cousins.
Right.
Stop it. Stop it. There's nothing toxic about that masculinity at all. That's just masculinity. That's just
Something funny you said about like the names that, these girls would be calling you, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, you're a short king. You're slaying. Don't worry, kings. I love a short king, first and foremost. But
What's
is
the
like
definition of a short king?
That's the new phraseology for it,
It's like intended to be a derogatory like phrase to men, typically 5'8" or under.
Okay.
All right, not a short king.
Not a short king.
Okay.
So like, I personally love short guys. They're so cute.
Read the definition of a short king so that people
Short king is a term that refers to a male who is shorter than the average, typically 5'8" or under, has a positive attitude and a strong self-confidence, and often embracing their height instead of viewing it as a negative.
Hey, hence
This
the crown.
term aims to reframe short stature as a positive attribute. But in basketball, wouldn't be good. Because
Yeah, I mean, well, some good short guys, but yeah. Yeah, okay.
But is there any name that like will really ruffle your feathers?
What do you mean?
Like, is there ever like have you ever been called because you said that Urkel wouldn't bother you, but is there a specific like if somebody says because like in Hustle, like
Urkel
Honcho
doesn't bother me on a basketball court because that if you're resorting to that, I'm probably kicking your ass out there.
Woo!
No,
Did anyone ever do that?
I'm just being. Oh, of course you get some people that just want to, But like I said, if you're resorting to that,
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
done.
dog, we hooping, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. If I'm
Yeah.
on a court and you're with Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever, or, you want to make Titanic jokes and Spider-Man jokes. It's like, you're not
Yeah.
here to hoop. You're here to say other things. So, and then at that point, I just focus.
Which is such also when you think about it, it's such
Like,
a
well,
funny.
what are we doing here?
It's such a funny like what they would interpret as a diss too, because all the really like what are they making fun of? Like, hey, you're successful, and I'm gonna say something about that
No,
too.
I had
like
to-
it's a funny
I
thing.
had to chill, man, when it came to rec games. I used to be in some of these rec leagues and stuff around here, and I just realized I was just taking it too seriously. And I remember I ran into some guys that wanted to call me out of name, and they were schlubs. So
Yeah.
that's what really bothered me even more than anything. It was just so insulting. It was like, hey, you should worry about playing. And I remember we were drilling them so bad, and they had the nerve to bring their girlfriends. I hated those guys in general who brought their girlfriends to watch them play basketball.
Yeah, that's kind of
So now you suck, but you got Brentwood addresses, so you think it's cool for you to bring your chicks and line them up. So at that point, it was just like, I even became pretty obnoxious at that point. I intentionally ran the score up over 100 in a rec game. And it was just like I was just talking to their girls like the whole time. Like, I don't even understand how you can be with these dudes. You have way better things you can be doing with your time.
Oh my God.
So it was like once they wanted to go Urkel, then I went on their ladies, and I was just like, "What do you?"
Lord.
And it
what
was
did they didn't want to fight you?
They couldn't. That's why I'm saying it was like guys like you just shouldn't talk. You should just play the game and
Wow, that's about
enjoy
as-
getting some exercise. But it was just like, but once you take it to that point, I'm like, oh, all right. This is what we do. But I remember it was like, even my friends were like, because it was like in the fourth quarter, it was like we were in our 80s, and I was like, we can get to 100. And it was like, Jay, chill. I was like, no, we can get to 100. I want to get to 100 on the. I want these ladies to know how much they're wasting their time with these cats.
That's hilarious.
That's what I said. Once I had a daughter and other things started happening in my life, I was like, I got to chill.
Do you remember
man.
the
Why
women's
Why do I
reaction?
care about doing this with strangers?
Do you remember the
So
women's
good.
reaction at all?
I mean, even the girls were silent at that point because they can't defend their dudes.
Yeah.
Their dudes are getting torched.
They probably didn't work out.
Like the dude, they can't. So it's just they can't laugh at their men. They can't laugh at your jokes. They're just there at that.
If
point.
your girl shows up and you lose at the sport, that's a tough thing to come back
Woo!
from. Like, I mean, if you just lost humbly, but like if you lose in a certain
like
way,
you
like
have no
that,
business in the
that's-
gym.
Yeah, that's not a good look. Like, yeah, you could lose a close game or whatever, all that kind of stuff, but like losing like that, that's a rough one.
My first boyfriend, the night before he asked me to be his girlfriend, he was like, I have this boxing match.
Oh shit!
And I was like,
Even
You-
Skylar just went.
you box?
Yeah, that ain't-
Oh, okay.
Oh, this
So
is a great
two
story.
things are going through my mind. I'm like, number one, this man is not like, there's no way this guy boxes. Like, okay, like this is gonna be like a little spooky. And also, it was at a frat, and it was called Sig Chi Fight Night, and he was fighting this other guy who was a lot bigger than him, one of his friends. But I was like, this guy is like gonna.
Did they have headgear on?
Yeah, they had like headgear
Okay.
on, and we're in a frat, and we're all standing around like cheering, watching this happening. I'm standing there freaking out because I'm like, if this guy loses, everyone knows that I'm talking to him, and then
He thought
I'm
that
a
you
loser.
I love your honesty right now.
I'm like,
were ride or die, baby.
fuck, no.
what happened?
He fights, whatever. In the beginning, he was getting like pretty, like
He was getting handled.
she was getting handled, and I was like, do I just like leave? Like I was like, I can't be here. Like if he loses, like, cause what am I gonna do? Like comfort him? Oh, sorry, you suck at boxing. Like what? I was
God.
like, oh my god. Luckily, last round knocks the guy out because he has
Really?
because he has like a
Oh,
long
shit.
reach.
Oh,
So this
knocks
was
him
a good.
out.
So he
is a good-
prevailed.
This is a good
Yeah, I ended up
story.
dating the guy for a year and a half.
Oh, of
But-
course.
Oh,
you
wow.
got-
He won.
That was the makings for a steamy
He
night,
would've
man.
lost.
And he literally won. Comes out. I'm like sitting out there, like I'm like holding like my white claw or whatever. I'm sitting out there. He comes out. He's like, sweaty, no shirt, has like a black eye. He's like, yeah, you watch me fight? I'm like, yeah. If you didn't win, I was going to go with the other guy. And he's like, ha ha ha, laughing. I was serious.
Oh.
I was serious.
Chloe, you are a fool for admitting that, but that is something I have always known.
But I guess it worked out.
No, I'm serious. Like, if you're that was bold of him to invite you to a boxing match, and wow, like he was. For a guy that had no training, I'm assuming he didn't have much.
No, he didn't have any training.
Exactly. That was wildly bold.
No, it was really
wildly.
It was
bold.
really bold. I was like,
because I've always said this too. I was like, if there's one thing I don't ever want to do is I don't ever want to get in any type of physical altercation in front of my daughter.
Yeah, that looks bad.
And I remember because I actually had a incident during pandemic, and I was with my daughter, and this guy was just completely overstepping his bounds. And I could feel myself clicking, like, don't do this. Because my mentality is, I'm not some tough guy at all. But I'm pretty athletic, and I do know my mentality is, if I have to fight in front of my daughter, either I'm effing you up really badly, or I'm waking up in the hospital.
yeah.
And it's just like, did we get him?
Did we get it?
Did we get him? And I'm just
Yeah.
being real. Like, there's just something about you when you're the head of a household.
Yep.
That you just should innately understand. It's like, oh shoot, like I am the last line of defense for our household when it comes to respect or anything.
Yeah.
And this dude was just crossing the line a little bit too much, telling my daughter to get up and go sit someplace else.
Whoa.
And I was like, no, you can sit down, honey. My man. And it's like I went right into it.
My man.
My man, we went right into it.
What
I would
happened?
not mess with the
No,
girl
he didn't
dad.
do nothing. Most people, man, don't.
Yeah, they don't want it.
Most people don't think things through, step by step.
Yeah, that's
in,
true.
In terms of escalation, like, okay, if this happens, then this is what's going to have to happen next. The other thing too is the average person has a very false sense of security when it comes to police intervention. The cops don't really care to intervene in a lot of our pettiest squabbles,
Right.
ever. So, if ever you're in a situation where it's like, oh, I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah.
And this was like the worst of pandemic. Like people are walking around in masks.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you think the police are gonna be here in time to get me off of your ass.
Yeah.
If you
You're
put your
hilarious.
hands on my daughter for her to move from your little coffee seating area over here.
Yeah.
You need to think this through, dog. Like this could be so south by the time they show up a day later.
Yeah.
They're just here to clean up bloodstains.
My favorite thing about being born, because I was born once, was making my dad a girl dad. Because girl dads, first of all, they slay so hard. Like everyone.
I'm a girl
who's-
dad.
You're a girl dad? Dory.
Yeah.
not a girl.
Dory.
No,
All right.
stop
Yes.
it. Thank you.
All right.
I am.
Pause.
Let me tell you
You
something.
will edit this. You do not get to say that.
I am a girl dad when
You
it
do
comes
not-
to
you
Dory.
do not- you
Chloe,
do not get to call
back me
yourself
up.
a girl dad because you have a dog.
Yes, I do. I take
No,
care of
not on this
her.
Dory's a
podcast,
pretty
my
princess.
She's
friend.
like a person. We've agreed on that.
No,
I have to take care of
you've
her.
agreed on that.
In Joseph's world, that is his child. That is in the stage of his life that he is right now. That is his daughter.
Joseph is setting himself to
What's-
get trolled in the
what's-
comments right now.
What's one thing different you have to do for your daughter that I don't have to do for
I
mine,
am not-
aside from school?
I am not comparing Samaya to Dory on any level.
I'm just asking, just make it hypothetical to anyone's
I
daughter.
don't have to entertain hypothetical because hypothetical is not real.
anyone's daughter. I mean, Skylar, feel free to weigh in.
ID.
Skylar,
What-
do you have a daughter?
A social
Wait, what?
security number.
Why would I need to? Yeah, but
a girl
don't
has
have-
ID.
yeah, but I don't. She doesn't need to get in anywhere.
We can get into
I'm saying-
technicalities. I mean, like vaccinations and such, but that's not
No,
what we're doing. We're
she
doing
gets
like
vaccinated.
Then
Vaccinations.
I'm a girl
That's true.
dad. I have a girl
Not the
dog.
dumb
Yeah, you
booster,
can't-
but
you're-
real
you're-
vaccinations.
Anyway,
You're
do you think
trampling
that?
all over a very sacred title.
Yeah.
Do you think that
trampling-
I'm just
becoming
naming. why-
a girl dad made you like more empathetic to, like,
Yes,
yeah?
yes, 100%. I can speak on this.
No, well, let him speak for me. Apparently he knows. Apparently-
I was agreeing. You could answer it first. I just wanted her to know.
No, having a daughter changed me exponentially. Like it changed me exponentially. It
Yeah.
just did.
Me too.
There's a level of patience that you have inside of you that you don't know you have until you have daughters.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
you just don't know you even have.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Do you think that, because like Joseph, I feel like I was once talking to one of my dad's friends and he was like, oh yeah, his daughter, his wife had just given birth and he was like, oh, I love my daughter so much. Like now, if it was like I had to choose my wife or my daughter, like I'd pick my daughter. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I actually said, I wish I'd had a daughter before I started dating, which is not possible. But it's like you come to understand a level of patience that and boundary setting also that you need to have a positive relationship.
You got
with your daughter.
three girl dads in here.
Wait, who's the third?
I have a girl dog too.
You do?
Whoa,
Are you
whoa,
serious?
I
Whoa,
actually
you
have
guys
Wait, I
do
didn't
not
know
get
that.
to put
I have
yourselves in
two.
my category
Hold
because
on.
you have dogs.
Wait, I didn't know
this
that.
This is
Yeah, because
getting wild.
because I take my
This is-
I'm a girl
I
dad.
refer to her as
No.
my daughter. I take my daughter to Parakeet Cafe. I make sure she's got water. I make sure she's got food. She
No,
eats
bro,
with me.
no.
I even order when I order eggs. I'll let her have one egg. I'll make sure they cook it in no oils, no salt and pepper, so she can have it completely clean. Because as a girl dad, their diets matter and they can't have everything.
I'm not entertaining this.
And no, I just
want to be clear.
I'm just saying.
I'm not entertaining this concept.
My girl
And-
dogs walk twice a day.
Mine walk more though, so
Wow.
I have a little bit more of a duty.
All right.
But my girl dog, she eats well. She eats good eggs.
Next topic.
So this video, I'll just set this up real quick. I happen to just be on TikTok, and this popped up, and I was like, "Oh, what is this? This will be humorous."
Mr. Adam. Sorry to bother you. My name is Jack.
Okay, Jack.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm a fan of you. Remember one time I met you on Rodeo?
Man.
Yeah, and you're like, next time maybe I'll get to talk to you. So if you are not doing comedy, what else would you be doing?
What else would I be doing? I would have been working for my dad. My dad, when I was trying to become a comedian, he would say to me, try it a few years. If it doesn't work out, you come. I'll teach you what I do. And my dad used to work in electrical contracting and shit like that.
Okay, and my last question, what keeps you grounded with all that you've achieved?
Yeah, I guess that happens from growing up and your family. And I always with my family, and we try to stay together and try to have a good time with our friends and that kind of shit. And I like meeting people like you, and it's all good.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you for your
I
kindness.
appreciate that.
God bless you. God bless you. And happy Easter too.
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Happy Easter. Let me.
Feliz Pascua.
Let me find you on the street with a camera on Easter.
Jackie is so sweet.
I
Oh,
love
man.
Yeah,
Jackie.
Jackie is so sweet. She's like, he'd be scooping ice cream, and I'd still be his wife. That was beautiful.
It is very nice. I mean, a lot of these guys with their phones now do these they're not even like TMZ interviews. They're almost just like they're very like formal or asking you like very like questions that like you almost have to like really think about for a second. So they're not like it's a very odd culture that's happened. Very odd culture that everyone is sort of doing this. I mean, some are actually good. I've seen certain videos, but they're just very I thought obviously Adam handled it very well.
I mean,
and
first
as
of all-
did Jackie, and they, talked to him and gave him good answers. But I think it's a little jarring for people, especially not, from this, era that we grew up in, and I didn't even grow up in, that people are just suddenly coming up to you with like these real questions, and they have a phone or they have whatever camera equipment, and they're not with like even the TMZ or whatever. It's a little jarring and it's a little startling.
Salute to Adam for how he handled that, because that's just an exceptional person. I see the comments, and the comments are like, this is the way celebrities should behave, and blah, blah, blah. Bump that. That is rude. That is rude. You do not pull up on somebody with
On
their
Easter.
wife. I don't care what holiday it is. You don't pull up
I
on
just meant,
somebody when he's with his wife. Her hat is clearly down. She's got sunglasses on. They're taking a couple stroll.
Yeah.
And you're just entitled to a quick interview. Like
Quick
that
interview.
like that is, to me, that is wild. Now, here's the thing. I probably would have reacted with a hybrid response, because I'm very sensitive to somebody running up to you with a camera that's already on, because that's their leverage. That's the leverage. The leverage isn't, he's not just being nice because he's a nice person. No, he sees Your camera's already running, so the story is already being told. Okay? And I want to make that clear for people in the comments who feel like, oh, this is the right way to handle it. No, he handled it for the right way. Adam handled it great for the circumstance because the camera was already out. He didn't handle it great because that guy was very considerate of him in any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry, that guy gets no credit at all.
Well, there might actually be a twist to that story.
Really?
So we'll see. We'll see if we find out the twist.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I think I've seen Adam. I have to say, even without cameras, though, fans coming up to him.
Without cameras, that's different. Without cameras, that's cool.
No, and I'm just saying, he's always super gracious and generous with his time. I don't know what people expect people to act like, because they're like, wouldn't you be thrown off if someone that you didn't know just suddenly started asking something, especially when you're maybe crossing the street?
One.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is two examples. This is two examples of when you whip out your phone.
Yeah.
And it's already running on a celebrity or a public figure, whatever you want to call us, and it's already running before you even say hello to the person, before you greet them, anything. Now, this was DeMar DeRozan in a sushi restaurant, and apparently the dude wasn't even a patron in the restaurant. He was like some dude who had been lurking outside and just got bold enough to be like, I'm going in the restaurant and I'm pulling up on DeMar's table.
And what did he pull up and do?
Did you ever get any footage from the beginning? There's footage out there of when the guy pulls right up to his table. So the video, the way it really starts, is this dude is on himself and he's walking in a sushi restaurant. And he had the nerve to post like, don't meet your heroes. Like somehow DeMar had disappointed him. DeMar is just reading his menu at the table. And the dude is just kind of like, DeMar just starts talking to him and just puts the phone right where his menu is. So, come on. DeMar immediately was like, yo, my man. Like, you just see all this. You see everything just go haywire quick. Like the phone, I mean, just, there it is. There it is.
Right where his menu is.
With the fan though was
boom. So that is the first look that DeMar has of this dude. This dude is walking up on his table. Look at DeMar's face. DeMar's face is how I feel inside. I have a little bit more. Is a little bit more experience.
You know who doesn't feel bad for him right now? Drake.
You stupid.
Drake is like, you got what you deserve. That's karma.
You stupid.
That's karma.
You stupid. But I'm like, okay. So you got the Adam Sandler version of what happens when a fan comes up to you with their phone already running. This is the opposite version. Keep playing it from there and watch what happens.
This was aggressive, though. Goddamn.
His flashlight and the camera phone in his face. Of course, we all know DeRozan is from Compton, and he does not take
What did he say?
Stop right there. I love that. I love that somehow DeMar being from Compton is the biggest red flag in this situation. Be like, yo, you put your phone out on somebody from Compton. You should have known what was going to happen next.
Oh my.
To post the original footage. However, I was able to capture the fans' point of view and what led to this whole incident occurring. I mean, the guy actually ended up in ER right after this. So without further ado, let's get it.
Yeah.
So he puts the. Is this gonna show it?
DeMar, they're trying to kick me out for no reason. Come on, man.
You're my hero. This dude is deranged.
What did he say? You're my hero.
He said, you're my hero. This dude is deranged. There's a great movie, one of my favorite films of all time, called The King of Comedy. It stars Robert De Niro, Jerry Lewis, and Sandra Bernhardt. It is truly one of my top three favorite. It's Scorsese film. It is one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Wow.
It is. It's also the template for Joker 1. For people who understand how movies get mashed up. And this dude is delusional. And that's the thing that kind of like, I have such empathy for, is that somebody who's not altogether upstairs can leave a digital imprint on your life forever if you don't have the experience and discipline to know how to wax on and wax off situations like that. That's why I applaud Adam for how he handled it, because he stopped. I wouldn't have stopped. I still would have been equally nice, because I like to leave some room for the person maybe to come to their senses or realize like, hey, you are kind of intruding on a personal moment. So I would have kept walking. It'd be like, yo, my man, what are you doing? What are we doing? We're not doing interviews, but you can walk with me. You know, I probably would have said something like that because I'm trying to check to see if how many marbles are there. I know a couple are missing already because you're walking up on me and the camera's rolling.
Yeah.
But now I need to know, are you completely deranged or are you just excited?
Yeah.
Because if you're just excited,
That's fine.
I have a ton of experience de-escalating that, and we're both going to have a wonderful encounter.
Yep.
But if you're delusional like this fool running up on somebody at a sushi restaurant like that,
Yeah,
that
no,
was surreal. Like I almost feel bad for DeMar that he even has to look at the digital imprint of that online. Because if you Google DeMar DeRozan right now, that's what comes up first, I promise you. Now it'll change over time because he's a public figure, but people have to always think about this too. When you're not a public figure and you get involved in stupid stuff like that, guess what? That's going to be on your Google forever, and it's going to take a long time before it goes down. Public figures' Google pages move because we're promoting, we have different projects coming out.
Yeah, you're going to be known for that.
If you're a regular, if you're a civilian, and I don't say that as a negative, I'm saying like you don't live to promote, then when you go apply for that next job, hey, DeMar, you're my hero. Whoa, okay, we don't need this dude working here. That's page 1.
Yeah.
Or that's his thing. Maybe this is his shit.
You know what? There are people too that's their thing, and I've caught on to a couple of those cats too. Like they go around stadiums and stuff, and they hunt.
Maybe he puts phones in front of celebrities' menus. That's a whole niche that we didn't even think of.
Yeah. You got this look on your face like you're gonna consider doing this.
I'm just thinking like, no, I'm definitely gonna subscribe to that dude's channel though if he's got one.
Oh my god.
See, he just like to say wild stuff. He knows. He can tell when I get impassioned about something. So he's like, how can I pour water on everything Jay White's saying right now? You're right. I'll chill. You're right. Okay. All right. I'll chill.
Would you get mad if you found out I paid someone to like do this to you at dinner? Like after the fact, if I made them say some cool shit, some witty shit, and you're like, wow, that was wild, but then you found out it was a setup, and then we watched it here.
I don't think
that would have been so dope.
I'm telling you, I don't think I would be caught up. Dude,
Maybe 3 years from now.
I went on the Eric Andre show and made it to the end.
That's true.
That's
you
how.
did.
That's
So
how.
did all the props.
Okay, that's how wax on, wax off.
That was
I
one of
am
my favorite
with
episodes I've ever seen in my
de-escalation,
life.
I had no idea this dude was going to do any of that stuff.
That was amazing.
To me, okay, so you think I would be bothered by somebody coming up to my table with a camera? I'm not gonna. The thing that I'm thinking differently than DeMar is, I'm like, oh no, you're not making a movie. You don't get the movie.
Yeah.
You may get to interrupt my meal for half a second, but not the movie too.
Right.
Because you notice even once it jumped off, dude was like, I want my phone. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. He knows the value in this is on the phone.
Yeah.
Let me get my phone first
See,
before you melt out, before you crash out. Let me get my phone.
Because the valuable part, the
so
footage
funny.
is on there. If I'm crashing out that far, you're not getting your phone back.
So you just got to take the phone first and then crash out.
DeMar grabbed the phone.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that was what was smooth about it. He wasn't expecting that. If I'm taking it that far, you're not getting your phone back.
Yeah, 100%.
You could snap
Like if you want to get real confident about it, then it's like, okay, get security over here. We're gonna delete this together. And if he gets too close to me, I'm gonna delete him.
For our 3-year anniversary, I'm gonna do a setup for you. It'll be fun, and we'll watch it on Lurks as a celebration, and we'll see how cool you remain.
You ain't getting me.
I'm gonna have multiple cameras.
You ain't getting me, dog. You not
No, I'm just gonna I'll just make it a fun one. I'm not trying to make it so you start beating
however
people
you
up.
prank me, if you pay, I'm not even a violent dude like that. But I'm just saying, I would be able to tell quickly.
Yeah.
What is this dude here for?
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the new version of Punk'd, right? I mean, like that's what they used to do on Punk'd.
Because Punk'd had setup.
Well, they had more. It was more creative.
Yeah,
but
it was more creative. If you just pulling up on somebody at a sushi restaurant while they reading the menu, they supposed to get violent.
Yeah. No, that was more extreme.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This was Everybody Lurks. We'll see you next time. We're on all social media platforms at Everybody Lurks. So lurk with us later.
Yes. Ask celebrities when you pull your phone out, may I take a picture of you? It might go great.
It might not. We'll see.